There it goes. Okay, I always just like to go over to YouTube and hello, my friends. Betty McKnit here, your crochet mama. Tonight I'll be working on my 6-day star blanket, still doing Stash Bust September. I've got a star and a superstar blanket going, and I'm determined to start a supernova before the end of the month. And what is today, the 27th? Saturday is the last day of the month. Sunday is freaking October 1st. Oh my goodness. So I have 3 days. Maybe I'll try and start it tomorrow sometime. And then, that's 3 days. That's half of a 6-day blanket. I could get it half done in 3 days. That's nothing. That's nothing to me. We'll see. I will get it started sometime in the next 3 days. Promises. Okay. So I just got to fix a couple things over here on my YouTube channel, and then we'll be good to go. Live. Am I live? Yes, I'm live. Yes, I'm live everywhere. And I am feeling better, okay, but I am still not 100%. I'm just not. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'm here crocheting, and that's what matters. Okay, here it is. This is, how many days have I done? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I've only done 4 days, and I definitely, on this one and the Superstar, I have not done enough. I did not work enough every day to complete in 6 days. So this definitely is not going to be a 6-day done deal. But, the name 6-Day Kid Blanket is unintentionally misleading. I never meant to mislead anyone, but it's not a challenge. You don't have to complete in 6 days. And it wasn't necessarily meant to be like that, but that's just what happened. It's just what I called it, and I wasn't thinking people were going to go crazy over it, and so it is what it is. How about TikTok? I'm going to put you up overhead, and I'm going to get started working on this bad boy and see how much I can get done tonight so that I can finish up and I can get started on that supernova, because I know when I do the supernova that people want to see it. That you all want tutorial style. You don't want Betty just doing her thing and yakking like, constantly. You want the tutorial for every single row, and I really want to give that to you. It's super tedious, but I'm going to do it for you because I love you. Okay, so here we go. Good evening, and who's over here? Hi, Pat Taylor from Illinois. She loves the star blanket. Thank you so much. Okay. Did I complete that round? Yes. So I'm doing the Ridgy Didge on all of these blankets, and what? Okay, so the way that I have chosen to do it is to change colors every 3 rows. And then I want one of those color changes to land in between row 5 and 6. And then after row 5, I'm flipping the blanket over, and I'm working round 6 as the as front post double crochet. So that's how you get this textured whatever. Brooke says, I just purchased your cardigan pattern this past weekend. Already had to frog it. Well, listen, Brooke, we have help. There's help for you. I have a whole Facebook group of people that'll help you. So don't be shy. Go join over there. Make sure you answer all the questions when you join. and we'll help you. You don't have to like be frustrated. And don't be mad at me. Frogging is part of crochet. But I'm happy that you're making it, and we'll definitely help you get going. Okay, let's go. Let's show a little more of this blanket so we can choose the next color in line. I already know which color I want to be next, but let's see what you all have to say. This is the last one we did. Would being a lefty matter? It might. It might matter, but I have a lot of lefty moderators in my Facebook group, so we will help you. We'll figure it out. Try not to worry, but yes, being a lefty might matter. I do have YouTubes too. I have YouTube tutorials of the star. I'm a lefty, but I hold the hook with my right. Okay. Well, when I teach people, left-handed people, how to crochet, I always have them try their right hand first, because a lot of left-handed people are ambidextrous, and it's kind of like playing the violin, you know. Just because you're left-handed doesn't mean you have to play on the other side. Like, your left hand in violin does a lot of work, so there's no reason to flip it. Yeah, it's this. The Facebook page is called the 6-Day Kid Blanket. We haven't done this green since the very beginning, so I feel like the green should be next. What do you think? Pat says purple. I could do purple and then green. Andrew says green. I think I really wanted to go. I think I wanted to do this green the last time, and somebody talked me into doing the denim blue, which was the first time I've brought that in. So let's go with green. Green it is. I think I'm going to need like 3 of them. Green's good. Okay, thanks, Pat. Pat's okay with green. And then we'll do purple next. What's everyone working on tonight? How's your Wednesday? Uh-oh, where's my hook? Here it is. Thanks for the follow. Okay, so this is my Ridgy Didge row. So I'm gonna start one. This is the space in the dip. So you start one over from that. So if you were working left-handed, you'd go to that one and you'd go that way. Doing a twin blanket for your great-granddaughter. Oh, that's nice. And then other than that, the row is worked exactly the same. You're just doing front post, double crochet instead of double crochet. And then when you get to the peak, you do 5 double crochet in the peak. Just regular, not around the post, just in the top of the stitch. 5 double crochet in the peak. It's exactly the same. Otherwise, I'm just flipping and I'm doing front post. And if you don't want to flip, you can do back post, double crochet. But I decided to flip because I don't like doing back post, double crochet. And also some of the ladies that helped me with pattern development, they said they thought that having the ridge on every single round 6 on the star blanket was just a little bit too much, so they were alternating. And I thought, well, why not just flip it, you know? Oh, thank you, Brooke. Well, we love you too. We'll help you out. We have a lot of lefties. And check the YouTube channel too, because I did the entire sweater last year. I have a problem where I just kind of dump my videos onto my YouTube page and then I don't go back and edit them. So you have to kind of dig for what you want. And it's just not really organized, and I haven't done all like my thumbnails and stuff like that. But I did do an entire sweater on lives last year, and so maybe that'll help you. Trying to crochet a gnome and it's driving me crazy. You know, one thing I do not enjoy crocheting is amigurumi. So that would drive me crazy too. The hat. Okay. I don't think I can help you with that, to be honest. Trying to get my arm comfortable on my table here. Oh, well, thank you. I don't know why it's fun to watch people crochet, but it is. That person that stares at me in public. Normally I don't mind, but 6 single crochet around 9 times is taking forever. Ugh. Ugh. I meant to measure before I started today. I forgot. I'm stopping at 60 inches. Stopping at 60 inches. It's been a long September. I just have not been able to crochet as much as I had hoped. I knew I was really trying to hit it hard because I knew I was going to be out of town. I went to Vegas with my oldest sister for her birthday in the beginning of September. And then I went to New York City with my youngest sister last weekend to see a concert and a show. So I knew I was going to have those two like outages. So I was really trying to like, you know, crochet a lot and get my Stash Bust September going good, you know. And lo and behold, I got sick, and that took me out for a lot more than I had planned on. But it's all good. I still got a lot done. I'm happy with what I have done, but I definitely want to do an entire supernova for you all. Maybe I'll try and get started tomorrow. I got to kind of pick colors. I have a lot. I have a lot of these blues and greens left, so maybe I'll do another one kind of just like this one but just as a supernova. The star, the superstar, and the supernova are all really similar. The star has 7 points of equal sizes, and it's the easiest. It's the easiest of all the 6-day patterns, I think. Easier than the 6-day kit blanket. And then the superstar has 14 points of equal sizes. The supernova has 14 points, but it has 7 large points and 7 smaller points. It's not really difficult. It just has a lot of different rows and instructions to follow. So you have to really pay attention to the pattern. It's not as brainless. Once you get the setup rows done on the star and the superstar, it's all repetition after that. It's just mindless. The star is really mindless. The superstar, not as much, but I like the superstar because the points never get that big. It's more of a round shaped blanket than a star shaped blanket. And so the points never get that big. The star blanket, like these points get huge, and it's like, I don't even know, 800 double crochet going down the side. People want to count them. They want to know exactly how many, and then they sit there and count them. And that's just not how I crochet. I'm going to move this camera just a little bit. So I'm just finding myself, it's difficult to stay in the field of where I want to sit. That's better. Okay, that's better. That's better. There we go. Move that up. Yes, that feels better. Okay. And now TikTok, you can go that way a little bit. Well, that did almost nothing. What was I talking about? So I finally had to close my windows today. I feel really sad about it. But hopefully the rain will stop and I'll be able to open them up again. I love sleeping with the windows open, and especially when it's like the wind is blowing off the ocean, like towards, I don't know if they call that offshore or onshore or what they call that, but the winds are blowing in from the ocean towards us, and so when it does that, you can really hear the ocean really well, and talk about calming, and it's the best. And I just love it. I get to sleep like that, listening to the ocean, in one of my favorite places in the world. It's like too good. I'm living the dream. How are you feeling, Andrew? You feeling better? You still sick in bed? I love sleeping with the ocean nearby. I know, right? It's been amazing to live so close to the ocean for the last 2 years. I absolutely love it. So we're having some strong winds and high tides again. And it's overwashing the turtle nest that I'm babysitting. So we didn't do any nest sitting tonight. We basically sit the nest to make sure that if the turtles decide to hatch and come out to swim for the ocean, that there aren't any people, nearby to step on them or disturb them or get in their way. So they won't need us tonight if they're, if they're hatching in the oceans right there. There's not going to be anybody out there to, it's too dangerous, but they're actually concerned that the nest might not survive at this point because of the temperatures and all the overwash. So we just don't know. This is some discontinued Caron Ogo Colorama. It's a 5-weight acrylic yarn. I deconstructed a bunch of Ogos. I have your YouTube series saved and I've been waiting till I find the yarn I want to use. Oh, nice. Well, you won't find any of this because it's discontinued. But really, you can use any yarn. I've been doing this during Stash Bust September because you can basically raid your stash, use up all the yarn left over from your other projects, put them all together. This is a great stash buster. I haven't been sick like this in a really long time. But I will say, usually when I get sick like this, I have to have an antibiotic to clear it up. And I don't think that's going to be necessary. Been fighting it off myself with my very own antibodies. No antibiotic required. I'm proud of myself for that. I'm really working on being more healthy. And I did sleep a lot. I just slept and slept and slept. And that was hard because you know how we all always want to keep going and going and going. And I had so much I needed to do. At the time. Has anybody been participating in Stash Bust September, or does that mean anything to anybody? I know it's supposed to be, you're not supposed to buy any new yarn all month. I don't know if that, I don't think I bought any new yarn. I don't have that many opportunities to buy yarn unless I go online. Oh, I take it back. I did buy some Lion brand, some discontinued Lion brand silk mohair. I had had some from the outlet and I wanted to make a hexagon cardigan with it. And I started one and I worked up an entire ball of in a hexagon, and it was only about that big, and I realized there's no way I only have 3 of these. There's no way I'm gonna be able to make an entire sweater with them. So I frogged the entire thing, which was really hard because it's mohair. And I think I was at the time looking for it on eBay or Poshmark or whatever. And so I had an alert. I had set an alert to get an email if it was ever back in stock. So I got an alert last week that it was for sale. You know, it was back in stock and for sale on eBay. So I bought it. So I guess I am I guess I'm making a hexagon cardigan with Lion Brand silk mohair after all. I didn't know about stash busting, but my son wanted a blanket scarf. So strangely enough, I designed a blanket scarf at the end of last winter. And I decided, since it was coming up on spring, that I would not release it until the fall. So I actually have a blanket scarf ready to release. And all I really need to do it's ready to go. It's been in my McKnitiverse since the spring. Um, you know, there's a lady in Australia, a couple people in Australia who made it during that time because it's their, when it's our spring, it's their, autumn. And so they were going into the season, the correct season for it. But we here in the US, we're not. So I thought, oh, I'll save it until next year. And then wouldn't you know, the other day, Lenny Kravitz with that TikTok. Holy moly. So I have an outfit all ready to go. I just need to work up the nerve to take my tripod outside and walk down the sidewalk, down the street wearing that scarf and filming myself and like not care what the neighbors think. And or hope nobody walks by or whatever. I'm just working up my nerve to do it. It was on my list of things to do yesterday and I didn't get to it. And today it's been crappy out. So I don't know. I'm just going to keep making excuses, or maybe I'll do it inside the house, but I think it would be better if I did it outside. I just have to work up the nerve to go model my scarf, my big old scarf, and then I can release it. So that's one of my projects. I was thinking I was going to release it on October 1st, which is Sunday. Hi, Susan. Thanks for the follow. It's called the 6-Day Chaos Scarf. And then I have a chaos blanket in the works as well that I hope to get ready and out there very soon. Oops. All in good time. I wish I could crochet faster. I'm one of those do it messy people. I just like throw it to the wall, throw it on the wall and see what sticks. Last night we had an absolutely lovely meeting. And I don't record these meetings because I want people to, feel like safe enough to share their personal stories. But I had a self-care crochet meeting and we just had a wonderful time. I talked about somatic crochet, which is body-oriented, ergonomic stuff, self-care for the hands and posture and the body. While crocheting, we learned some breath technique to help with anxiety and depression, because a lot of people are crocheting for their mental health and mental stability and, to offset anxiety and depression. And then we also talked about mindfulness and like the thoughts and the energy that we bring to our crochet work. It was a wonderful time. I hold those meetings once a month and they're free and open to the public. So the next one's going to be on October 24th, I believe. I try and do them like on a Tuesday, last Tuesday of the month is when I've been doing it. Last Tuesday of the month around 7 p.m. almost there. I think I have one more point after this on this round. Welcome. Thanks for joining and sharing the live. Whoops. You see, what else did I do today? I feel really accomplished because I made some phone calls that I've been putting off for a while. You know how you do that? I have a broken radio in my car, and it's been just really difficult to figure out what the heck to do about it. And so I made some phone calls today and got some advice and made a plan of action. And then I, wait till you hear this, changed the battery in my key fob all by myself. I was really nervous about doing that because I only have one of those keys. And I was like, what if I break it? Then what? I'm not going to be able to drive anywhere. First of all, I was in New York City with my car when my car said, the battery in your key is low. And I was like, oh no, what if the battery in my thing dies? And then how am I going to start my car? What am I going to do? So I looked it up and I bought a screwdriver and a battery when I was there. And I thought, I'm going to wait until I get home to do this. Because my sister said, my car's been telling me that about my key for about a year. So I was like, okay, probably have time. It's not going to just die on me right now. That I'll have the battery just in case. And, but I'm going to wait until I get home to try and change it. So I did that today and I feel real proud of myself. wasn't too bad. That didn't take that long. But you know what is not going to take that long even more? The single crochet row that's next. Yeah. It's going to go by so fast. Man, I love a single crochet row. Here we go. And here's how I cheat. This is not in the pattern. I don't slip stitch. I just start single crocheting. Let me put a marker in it so y'all kids don't get confused. Always follow the pattern, children. Do as I say, not as I do. My parents used to say that a lot. My dad used to say that a lot. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay, it's 8:21. Let's see how long it takes me to go around this whole thing with single crochet as fast as I can. This is round 7, by the way. Ding, ding, ding. Andrew must be asleep. Yarning with Chris. That's cute. My niece, when she was little, she used to say, Aunt Beth is yarning again. Where am I? Do you mean on the blanket? It's round 7. Or do you mean where am I located? I'm on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Outer Banks Crochet is actually me. It's my other account. Someday I'll work on getting that account up to 1,000, and then what I want to do is sit on the beach and crochet, which sometimes I do from this account. I just hang out on the beach and crochet, and then I just show the beach on my live, and the ocean and water and people walking by and stuff. I need a better setup. I need I need a second device, I think, so I can go live from one device and then be able to show my work and my comments and you know, where I can see the comments and also be able to see what I'm working on as well as the ocean. I need I need like an umbrella, somehow rig my phone up to my beach umbrella or something so you can see my crochet and the water. Oh, we have that wind coming in again tonight. I don't know what this storm is from. If it's another hurricane blowing through, I haven't had the capacity to like check the weather and see what the heck is happening. Excuse me. Here in Montana with mild weather so far. Okay. I hear it's really beautiful there. I mean, it's rainy right now and it's blowing, but it's been really warm still. I really like the weather that we're having right now. I love it here so much. Montana is pretty. Check it out. I've always wanted to. I've been to almost every state in the 50 states. I've driven across the country 4 times with military moves. And I always tried to go a different way. I always wanted to go a different way every time. So I did get to see, I have seen a lot of the country by car. But someday I do want to have like a tour bus, which I'm going to have decorated with the 6-day kid blanket and star blanket. And I'm going to drive around the country in it. And I'm going to meet all the people that crochet my patterns, my blankets, and talk to them about their blanket stories, who they made the blankets for, and what the story behind them is. Somebody posted just a heart breaking photo in my blanket group. Was either today or yesterday of a little baby in the NICU with a 6-day kid blanket draped over the bed, top of the baby's, the little incubation like unit that it was in, preemie baby, 36 weeks, and with the blanket draped over. And they said they made the blanket for the baby. Baby had to be taken early because the mother has cancer. So like that's a story. That's a story right there. So yeah, I want to have like a series where I go around and talk to people about all those stories. That's my dream. That's my other dream besides living in a beach house. Is the 6-day kid blanket tour bus. Just go around and meet everybody and crochet with everyone. See everyone's blankets and stash and hear their stories. Thank you. Yes. I know. I didn't even know what to say at first. I was just like, holy moly, that's a first. But we have heard some pretty incredible stories. One of the saddest stories was one of our moderators passed away, and she had been in and out of the hospital for a while, suffering with different something that happened to her when she was pregnant with one of her kids, and then she had some kind of infection or something, and it just like never it never got better, and she kept getting sick, and she was in and out for a long time of the hospital. And then she said she was having one of her legs amputated, and then she was going to have both of the legs amputated. And I had made this really pretty 6-day superstar. In fact, it's on the pattern. It's on the Spring Mixers pattern. It's called Megan's Mix. And her name was Megan. And so I made that blanket, and then a bunch of us made like flowers and hearts to put on it. And we sent it to her. But unfortunately, she's in Australia, and it took so long to get there. She passed away before it arrived. But her family has it now. And then her husband and her mother were in my group for a while, and they shared some photos of it. And that was a really hard time. It's hard sometimes when you're in an online community, the your family might not know who you're hanging out with and talking to online, you know what I mean? So then like if someone passes away, like there was no one to let us know in the, like in the Facebook group, in the moderator group, like that she passed away. Like we found out about it from her Facebook page, not because nobody cared, but just, some people don't realize. And that is when I realized how important my online communities were to me. Anybody watching have a blanket story? You made anything really like special for somebody, or that was really meaningful? Pat Jacobs says, I mailed my queen size 6-day kid blanket today. It was a belated birthday present. Nice. Y'all are crazy making them queen size blankets. That's so big. How long did it take you? I know it took longer than 6 days. It took a month. It gave me a fit. I frogged it a lot. Sorry. Hi, Hessa. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, my friend. I was on the phone with my sister this morning because she is starting a 6-day beach house blanket. I was able to order the yarn for some of the ladies in my membership. Of course, my sister was one of them, but so she started her beach house blanket. She had surgery and she is using it as like a healing, and it has a starting chain of 250, 220, 24. I don't remember exactly, but 220 something. And she's like, I counted it over and over and over again, and I still made a mistake. I checked every single point and I don't know what I did. And so, I think in the end, she had a couple extra stitches after she finished row 2, and she was like, it's just driving me crazy. She's like, I don't want to go back and frog the whole thing because I could make the same mistake and it's just driving me crazy. And so she ended up fudging it, and she's like, I just need you to say it's okay. And I was like, it's okay. It was so big, but it was beautiful. I almost kept it for myself. Oh, you'll have to make another one. Make one for yourself. You know what I've learned working with people on their crochet is that many of us have never crocheted anything for ourselves. We only exclusively crochet for other people. Okay, there's my start. I did it. How long did it take? It took 8 minutes. I thought I said it was 8:31 when I started, or did I say 8:21? So this is round 2. Ding, ding, ding. And let's see, what am I doing? This is going to be the last, round with this color. And then I'm going to be switching to the purple as promised. What colors did you put in that queen size blanket, Pat? What yarn did you use? $8.21. It took 18 minutes. I knew you were hiding there somewhere. I wanted to say it only took 8 minutes. I knew it felt like longer than 8 minutes. These rounds take longer and longer and longer when you get to this size. My sister makes all my blankets. I made her 2 blankets and she made me 7 blankets. Well, it sounds like you have about 5 more to go. Does she make 6-day blankets also? She won't learn a new pattern. Aren't sisters just like that? When my older sister, she's been crocheting for a while, but when she joined my community, she was making some basic ripple stitch blanket, and I said, you better finish that before you start any kind of 6-day thing, because after you do one of these, you're going to be bored with that. That is boring, and you're going to be too bored. And sure enough, no, I want to make a Christmas tree skirt, 6-day tree skirt. I'm like, all right. And she was like, she was definitely challenged, but she's a very smart woman. She has a doctorate, so in accounting. She's super smart. So I was like, you can do it. This is you picked a challenging thing to start with, but you can do it. And she did it. And then sure enough, she was like, this, did I ever pick, what am I doing with this other thing? It's boring. It's so boring. I can't even stand to work on it. I was like, I tried to tell you to finish it before you started a 6-day thing. So just recently she tossed that project in the trash. The queen size blanket was burgundy, tan, and beige. It sounds nice. Did you post a photo of it? Did I see it in the blanket group? I don't remember. I see so much stuff over there. And then my mind is so like compartmentalized. If I see something over there and then I come over here, it's like whatever happened over there just stays over there. It doesn't translate sometimes. I remember it, but I don't remember who posted it, or you didn't post it. Did you take pictures of it? I hope you did. Yeah, post them in the group. Show it off. This is getting big. I'm going to measure after this round. Oh, how many am I going to do in here? 4? No. Pay attention to what I'm doing. So did anyone see there's a new season of Love is Blind? It was only 4 episodes, so I watched that. That was exciting. And then does anyone know when we're going to get more episodes? How long do we have to wait for that? And what other good shows are there to watch? Because dang. Outlander went by so fast. I guess I could go back and watch it again, but I've already watched them all like 10 times. I wish my daughter could come down and photograph some of my stuff for me. She's fun to hang out with. She takes good pictures. Thank you. I don't know what that was. Thanks for the heart. Lay it down and admire it. Only have about 5 cough drops left. Alexa, put cough drops on my list. I don't think she heard me. I don't want to scream at her. She's had a bad day. Computer, put cough drops on my list. Yeah, computer heard me. This is going to be about it for this green. Oh no, I have a bunch more. There's more. There's a partial. I can do one more. Oops, what am I doing? Well, if you've ever watched me on a live, you have probably heard me rant about not tying knots, and because I don't tie them and I don't believe in them. But after doing this and having all these short pieces from these different Ogos to kind of work together like this, honestly, I can understand why people do those magic knots for projects like this. I get it now. I mean, it is tempting because I've got a ton of ends going here that I'm going to have to weave in. And I know that they're a pain to do, but it really is the only way. I really don't think magic knots are secure. And in fact, I know they're not. You know, but everybody has a different comfort level with that. So, I'm just going to try and let that go a little bit. I think sometimes some of these things, like, I'm never going to swatch. I've never swatched. I never have, never will. I don't want to take the time to do that. I don't want to take time to weave in ends. You know, like, oh, boohoo, I had to frog so much back. What? It's the end of the world, you know. I think some of these are newbie issues because when you're new to crochet, you don't crochet that fast, and it takes time to build like the muscle memory and the speed to crochet fast and comfortable, and like it just doesn't bother me to take the extra time as much anymore as it once did. But honestly, I think it's because I crochet pretty fast. So that's my theory. And when you're first starting out, you don't crochet very fast at all. And so if you do have to frog something, it is a big deal. And if you do have to make a swatch, it does take a lot of time. It only takes me about, 20 or 30 minutes to make a whole swatch for the 6-day blanket. It's just not that much time, so I could see how easy it would be to think, I'm just going to skip over that because I don't want to take the time to do all that, Those are my thoughts. Deep Thoughts by Betty McKnit. Now the regular back and forth 6-day blanket has to end on row 4. I mean, it doesn't have to, but if you want it to look great at the top, it does. But the star blankets, you can end on 4 or 7. It doesn't matter. So when I get to 60 inches on this bad boy, I'm going to end it, whatever row I'm on, 4 or 7. I feel like I kind of have a preference to end on 4 because that's how the regular 6-day blanket ends, but honestly, I don't really care. And then I'm just going to do the regular reverse single crochet because a lot of people like complain about that, like, oh, it's so hard, I can't do it. And then Helena from Squish and Company was saying, Squish and Co. or whatever it is. I'm not sure which one it actually is, but she was saying she couldn't get it because there's something missing from all the tutorials and some certain thing that you have to do. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know what the heck she's talking about. But I'm going to show it anyways. I'll show it real slow for y'all. Real slow like. Oh no. Well, I don't know what happens with this camera over here. Why it does this. Where it like, once my camera dies and I have to change the battery, it does not come back into the picture. There it is. A good old turn it off and turn it back on again does the trick every time. There we go, and we're back. I bet I'm getting close to being 60 inches across on this one. I'm getting there. Takes longer and longer the further you go. I've been on here for an hour and 20 minutes, and I have not even completed 3 rounds. Usually I can do like, a whole repeat. I mean, it just depends. A couple nights I was only on here for like an hour, and that's not enough time. For me, it's a 2-hour minimum, I would say, a night. approximately 2 hours a night to do a whole blanket in 6 days. Hello. Thanks for joining. Let's see what's going on in the Betty McKnitiverse. Tomorrow I am doing I like to do these meetings towards the end of the month of work in progress, like a whip. I call it whip it good. But we just have like a a meeting to just like bring a whip and finish something up, finish her frog and kind of wind up the month. Weave in the ends. Uh-oh. I forgot to plug in my phone. There we go. But we usually have at least one meeting a week over there. In the membership community. It's a good time. It's a good time. We have a nice group of crocheters. Hang out together and work on our stuff. Oh, this is getting big. This is getting big. Yeah, I actually think with this version, you wouldn't want to finish on 7 because you would have this ridge and then only one row and then the end. So actually, I think on this version, if you do the Ridgy Didge, you need to end on row 4, round 4. I got to write that up, write that into the pattern. Listen to that wind. It's going to get hot in here. I'm going to turn my AC on, which I don't like doing. Hi, welcome to everyone that's joining right now. Thanks for following. Thanks for sharing the live. Doot, 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 doot. How long did that take, Della? This is just a really short piece. I'm going to put it in the granny square bin. It's too short to do anything with, except for maybe start a granny square or something. "33 minutes." Okay, let's see. Let's see what I'm measuring at. I think I'm going to do one more round tonight. They're 26 and a half. So I'm not quite at 60. Doesn't seem like really that big. 60 inches. But I guess it's 5 feet tall. It's as tall as I am. I'm a short lady. It's a lot of ends. Just try not to look at them. It's okay. They're all going to go away. All right. I think I said I was doing the purple next. So let's do the purple next. Do you believe it's time for a little purple? Thank you, Ms. I Am Present. Appreciate you. Okay, so when you're joining a new round, you're going to join on this side of the center cluster. The standing, I just do a standing stitch. Ooh, I like that green and purple next to each other. Very striking. We're going to have to do like a gray after this. This is round 3. Ding, ding, ding. We need Andrew. I don't know. Andrew said they weren't feeling well. They were sick in bed the last time they were on the call, so on the live rather. I feel that little twinge in my wrist. I have one of those infrared wraps for my wrists, and boy, they really do help. I suggested it to somebody, and they said, I don't want to put heat on it, but they don't get very hot. They really don't get hot at all. But they use infrared light, red light, and you can just feel it penetrating into the tissue, and it really helps with wrist pain. My only regret is I wish I had gotten the one that you just put your hands in. You can get the set of mitts for $100, but I do want it to go like, I do need it for my wrist too. Mostly where I feel it is up in here when I do feel pain. So I like to have it on my wrist, but the one that I have, I just wrap it into a tube and then Velcro. It has a Velcro strap, and I just slip my hand into it. And I do that for like, you can only do it for like 20 or 30 minutes at a time. You can't sit there with it on your body all day. But it's It really helps. Usually after I use it, I don't have any pain at all. And I don't crochet with pain or numbness or tingling or anything like that. I really take care of my body because I do this every day. But that infrared pad has been really nice. I'm going to break that out later when I'm done here. So I think I'm going to be doing one more repeat on this blanket because I want to end on round 4. So I think I'm going to be doing one more repeat and then it'll be done. So this will be day 5. I don't know if I can do a whole repeat. I definitely cannot do a whole repeat in 2 hours on a live. That's for sure. So maybe I'll keep going on this tonight after I get off of here. And finish this repeat. And get it to where I could finish it on the next live. And it would be done in 6 days. I mean, 6 days of working on it. 6 non-consecutive days. Thank you, Betty. Betty says, I love the colors. I have a kind of, I don't know. Everybody always says I have a really good eye for color, but I use a lot of cake yarn. And these colors came from the Caron Ogo cake yarn. And I bought a bunch of them because I wanted the sage green out of them for a project. And so these are what was left over after I pulled out the sage green for something else. So it's a mix and match. So I guess I could say I'm partly responsible for the colors, but I just put together what Caron gave me. I did some deconstructing and I picked and chose what I wanted. The sage green went into another project with some other deconstructed Ogos that had some colors that I wanted and some other colors that I didn't want. So I have a third bucket of leftovers that didn't match these blues and greens and weren't wanted for the other one. And I think that's what I am going to mine for my supernova blanket. When I start that, I don't know. Haven't decided. That was the plan. How many variations of the blanket are there now? Well, there's the original 6-day kid blanket, and it has 6 different ways that you can stripe it now, I think. There's the original vivid chevrons, the snowflake effect, the viral stripe, popsicle effect, the Australian confetti sweetheart effect, and now there's the Ridgy Didge. And there's a new stripe called the Tranquility stripe that actually is not really a striping effect, but it's the 6-day kid blanket without the chevron. It's called the Tranquility stripe. And then there are the star blankets. So there's the star, the superstar, and the supernova. And this one that I'm working on right now is going to be the Ridgy Didge star. So there's going to be a Ridgy Didge star, Ridgy Didge superstar, superstar, and a Ridgy Didge supernova. And then there are star shawls, star, superstar, star, and supernova shawls. And then there's a star and a superstar shawl with the Noro yarn called the Starro and the Superstarro. And then there are star, superstar, and supernova tree skirts. Is anyone counting? And then there are the great granny. There's the great granny and the great granddaddy. And there are granny squares. How many is that? You would never get bored. You never need another pattern. 6-day kid blanket, everything. Which ones have you made, Betty? I love making the original with baby mandala and the pocket shawl. Oh, nice. I'm going to use that baby mandala one time. I really want to design more with the Noro. I really enjoy working with that yarn. It's a very special experience. I usually make a 6-day kid blanket pillow to go with the blankets that I make. Oh, that's an excellent idea. I haven't ever, I haven't gotten to the accessories yet. Writing up patterns for those. I wanted to do my garments first. I still have lots of ideas for garments. I wanted to do a new sweater this year, but I didn't get to it. Not yet, anyways. Oops, what am I doing? Yep, this is really getting big. One more repeat after this will do it. Because we want to end on round 4. And round 4 would be the next round after this one. So I don't think it's really big enough yet. I'd like them to be at least 60 inches across. So I'm going to go one more repeat. And when we do that, it's only going to add, well, a repeat is that long. So it's going to add that much. And that's going to seem like a lot. I haven't worked on my Superstar on here at all, just mostly because I took it in the other room. So when I sit down over here, this one's right here. So I've just been picking it up. So I should maybe bring that one in. And if I get the chance to go live tomorrow, I'll work on the Superstar a little bit. I still have that whole Superstar blanket from before to take apart. I can't stand the sight of it. I'll try and film it because I know it'll be fun for y'all to watch something that big unravel. Come on. Can tell I'm getting tired. I have 2 more points to go on this round. And then I'm going to end the live. I'm going to go warm up my roast beef and potatoes and have a little bite to eat. And then I'm going to keep working on this off camera for a little while, I think. Get it caught up. Because I didn't really work on it enough to finish it in 6 days. I'll put a little extra time in on it tonight. Almost there. Hi, Nana. Friday, no matter what. I'm going into town. And I have to have my blood drawn. I have some blood tests done. Check my thyroid. And I am going to get me a burger. And grab some groceries. The other day I really wanted, was this last night, 2 nights ago, when I went down to do the nest check, and I really wanted a burger really bad. And I thought I had some burgers in the freezer, but I knew I did not have any buns. And I went to the grocery store and I bought some buns, and I came home and I looked in my freezer and there were no burgers in the freezer, but there were hot dogs. So I had to have hot dogs on hamburger buns. But I've been craving a burger ever since. I haven't had much of an appetite because I've been so sick. I know, right? Have you ever heard of something so silly? I felt so pathetic, but I have no groceries. I've been sick. I was out of town, so I do this thing when I go out of town where I, I just try to eat what I have because I don't want to have things, I don't want to have food here that just spoils, Excuse me. So sometimes I do let things get down to like the bare, minimum. But there's still plenty to eat here. You know how it is. You always have something hanging around. And usually either on the way back or like the next day I'll go stock up, but I was sick. So I had like nothing to eat. I had rice and I had oatmeal. I didn't have any bread to eat. I don't usually even buy bread, but I was like, wouldn't it be nice to just have a piece of toast right now? Like I'm sick. Um, so yeah, I didn't have that. I had ramen noodles, so that actually tasted really good. One day I made myself some ramen noodles with the chicken broth, you know. But yeah, I'm down to like, you know, I'm down to getting down to the wire here. Today I went through the fridge and found some roast beef that I had made a couple of weeks ago, and I froze some of the leftovers. And I knew I had like some pork in there, but I wasn't really hungry for pork. It just didn't really sound like it would taste good, just being sick like that. But I love beef, so I found a little container of some like an old a pot roast that I had made a couple weeks ago, and I didn't finish it all, and I had just a little bit of it that I packed up. And so I warmed that up today, and that tasted really good. That tasted really good. But I was thinking, like, I saved my chicken scraps and carcasses and stuff. I save them in the fridge, and then I make, I make broth and soup out of it. And I was thinking, well, I could make chicken broth, I could make chicken soup, but I don't have any like onions or carrots or nothing. It would just be chicken with, powdered seasonings or whatever. So I'm like, I gotta go to the store. Come on now, Betty. Let's get our butts to the store. Let's get some vegetables in this house and let's get cooking here. Always done the same thing. My family always used light bread instead of hamburger buns. That was a luxury. I mean, in my family, if we had hot dogs, all we had was hot dogs and hamburger buns, we would just cut the hot dogs in half and put them on hamburger buns. It was like no big deal. But for whatever reason, the other night, I just really wanted a burger. I just really wanted a burger with cheese on a bun. It was like the first time I was like actually had an appetite and I was hungry after being sick all those days. Just sleeping, eating oatmeal and stuff. I just had no appetite at all. Almost there. This is my last peak right here. And then I'm going to go take a break and eat, and I'm going to work on this off camera for a little while tonight, but it's been really fun hanging out with you all tonight. It's always so comforting just to be able to go live and find people to hang out with and crochet with and chat with, even if I know I'm a little bit more quiet than usual because I haven't been feeling 100%, but it's still fun to come on here and work on this stuff and chat with you all. I hope your projects are going really well. And you can always find me in the Facebook group, the 6-Day Kid Blanket Facebook group. That's the platform where I'm most active, although I do try to answer questions wherever they pop up. But that's the best place if you want to ask a question about your 6-day project. the best thing you could do is post a photo of it in that group, and we will take a look at it um, and help you out, either myself or the mods, watching you and guessing which pattern and row you're on. Go to the store and buy hamburger buns because yeah. Sunday I made 15 bean soup with chopped kale, so hearty for this cold weather. You know, I had a craving for that. I think I put beans on my list. Well, and incidentally, I did say which row I was on at the beginning. This is round 3 of the 6-day star. Someday I'll get my act together and go through and notate everything so people don't have to guess. Oh, I did it again. Remember I did that the other day? I fastened off and I didn't really need to. That's all this blanket needs is more ends to weave in. I didn't really need to fasten off that purple, so it is time for me to go. Oh, good grief. Good grief, Betty. It's too big to show the whole thing at once. So it's as much of it as I can show at once, I guess. Go like that. There's the beginning of it. All right, I'm going to go get something to eat, and I will hopefully see you all tomorrow or again over the weekend as soon as I'm able to get back on here. Have a good night, and thanks for hanging out. Bye.